We've just completed the toughest and arguably best cycling event in the UK, the infamous Fred Whitton Challenge.
It is just 180 k's long and with only 3,000 metres of climbing. What is it that makes this event so hard?
Well, we've just found out. Some riders take as long as 12 hours to complete this, and we've tried to do it today in under 6. Question is, did we manage it? Oh, I'm feeling this now. Feeling it.
We're lucky enough to have travelled the world, riding our bikes in amazing places. Colombia, Taiwan, Nepal, the USA, Canada, and over just about every mountain pass in Europe. But we don't often talk about British roads in quite the same way. I mean, when it comes to iconic stretches of tarmac, the UK has none.
What are you on about? Like Trafalgar Square, Piccadilly Circus.
Iconic for Monopoly, maybe, but not cycling.
All right, well, right. We've been lucky to ride our bikes all over the world, okay? And I'm telling you that this corner of England, the Lake District, made famous by Beatrix Potter and William Wordsworth, has the best and toughest road riding out there. I mean, look at it. Look at this.
A poet and a children's author that wrote about bunnies.
Yes.
Way to sell it, mate.
Part of its charm is no doubt the quaint English villages, idyllic valleys and 16 major lakes that give this 2,300 square kilometre national park its name. But while the highest point is just 978 metres above sea level, the mountains here are rugged and unforgiving. And the roads that try gamely to cross them were made by absolute sadists.
Actually, a lot of them were built by the Romans, and those steep roads are why I love this place. If you like climbing, then there isn't really anywhere else like this. Most of the roads, you find themselves going over 15%, and the steepest ones are over 30%. And in fact, the toughest part of the Fred Whitton course is the back-to-back climbs of Hardknot and Rhinos, because they come at about 90 miles in, or 150 kilometres, and they both, nearly go over 30% and reduce many a good rider to walking.
Don't get me wrong, I love riding up hills too. It's one of my happy places, just not like this. I have always hated steep climbs. Like, I yearn for the mellow gradients of Europe where you can fly up mountains thinking like you're like some kind of god. British climbs though, they make you feel like crap, basically. They will kill your legs, and very few people are ever fit enough to go up them feeling fast. So I have a feeling this one is going to be really tough. It is bright and early, we're just doing final prep, aren't we? Before we start, we've got to talk you through, we have brought a couple of fairly ridiculous Pinarellos with us for the job. Ollie's got his top of the range Dogman F, I've got my F9, which I've had for a couple of years now. I'm still besotted with it, and it's also just had some rather spanking new wheels fitted.
We've got no excuses today. Pinarellos, Princeton Peak 4.550 wheels on there, and also the cherry on top, these new retro sidewall T0 RSs from Pirelli.
Yeah, we know how fast it all is, but frankly it looks fast just standing still. Now, 2,000 riders are setting off today. I think most of them have already started, Ollie.
Yeah.
I think we're at the back. How many people are we going to get to pick off today?
Hopefully a lot of them. Yeah.
Depends whether Ollie's hypothermia really sets in.
It's quite cold right now, but it's going to be 23 degrees later on. How many gels have you got?
All of them. I've got all of the gels.
Good. We're going to need them.
Should we do it?
Yeah.
The route begins in Grasmere, and then after passing through the pretty town of Ambleside, takes you up the biggest climb of the day, Kirkstone Pass. Following a rapid descent to the shores of Ullswater, you then climb Matterdale End. After a very fast section to Keswick down the A66, you take on 3 savage climbs in succession: Honister, Newlands and Whinlatter. Heading out towards the coast, you tackle Cold Fell before coming back inland where you face the toughest challenge, the double punch 30% gradients on Hard Knot and Rhinos Pass. A final sting in the tail at Blee Tarn, and then it's a fast rolling finish back into Grasmere with whatever you have left.
Go time. Absolutely incredible start, riding down a hill on pristine tarmac. I could do that all day, but now the first test.
So the Fred Whitton is widely regarded to be Britain's toughest sportive or Gran Fondo, and it's an event that was set up in honour of Fred Whitton, who was a prominent member of the Lakes Road Club, who sadly died when he was just 50 years old. And his friends set up this event to honour him and raise money for charity. And it was first run in 1999, and it's been run every year since. It's gone from strength to strength, and it's raised over £2 million in the process.
It's amazing, isn't it? But it's still got a really nice grassroots kind of vibe about it, hasn't it?
So in terms of how many times I've ridden it, I first rode the route in 2011, and then I've ridden the event 4 or 5 times. I've lost count. A lot. Maybe I've ridden the route 7 or 8 times.
A veteran. Ollie is a veteran, and yeah. I am definitely not. Yeah. I was a Fred Whitton noob.
Yeah.
I don't want to say virgin, because that seems a bit creepy, but yeah, basically. Pacing strategy, there's an interesting question. So we didn't actually talk about it. I knew that Ollie wanted to go sub 6. That's the gold standard, diamond standard probably actually. Not many people manage it. So I knew that was the target. In terms of what we'd have to do to get there, I didn't know. But put it this way, at 6:30 in the morning, I sent Ollie a text message when I was getting ready saying, do I need aero socks? And his reply was 100%. So I think that told me what the pacing strategy was.
Yeah.
Right, we're just coming up to the top of Kirkstone. You see Windermere down there? Looks sensational this morning. Now, this is a pretty spicy climb, but in terms of pacing, we're basically trying to do up this climb what hopefully we'll be able to do on Hard Knot Pass later on.
It's hard not to get carried away, right? Beautiful tarmac, lots of other people to ride with. That's good. I do like the first climb of the day. It's always a highlight.
One thing's for certain, and that's I'm not cold anymore.
I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vale and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils.
This is the very spot, and there's even some daffodils as well, just like Wordsworth. Ollie won't let me stop though, which is unfortunate. Actually, I don't really like daffodils. It's the worst spring flower. Bluebells. Absolutely crush daffodils.
Amazing view of Ullswater behind us. They actually used that view in the Force Awakens, except there's X-Wings flying over it.
It's unreal that they managed to get X-Wings, like permission to fly.
Yeah, I know.
So we ticked off the first big climb, didn't we?
Yeah, Kirkstone, then Matterdale End.
Yeah, and then we had that big long
Smashed it
fast
down the
bit.
A66 to Keswick.
Smashed down the A66. Once we got to Keswick, we were really like in the thick of it, weren't we? And we go up, is it Borrowdale?
You go down Borrowdale and then up to Honister Pass.
That's right, and things got like quite hectic there, didn't they? But once we hit Honister Pass, oh my word, that is steep as anything, isn't it? It was carnage.
Yeah, it's like
absolute
that bottom
carnage.
section was like 25%, and it was. I mean, the way I sort of described it, it feels like the sort of beach landing scene at Saving Private Ryan, where it's like people just seem to just be all over the bodies everywhere, just like. So one of the challenges we actually had was filming the event, especially on those sections where it was busy and there were a lot of riders there, keeping the camera moto that we had with us. But fortunately, when we lost the camera moto on Honister Pass, but another sort of cyclist called Andrew on Two Wheels, he has a YouTube channel, he caught us on his Insta 360 going up Honister Pass. So thanks to him for he shared the footage with us.
That's cool, isn't it? I was feeling good. We've been in the saddle for what, an hour and a half by that point, and so I wasn't overly fatigued.
This is great. We're all sat on Bridgewood. I'm having my third breakfast already.
And I was sort of trying to rein myself back, but I probably did get a little bit carried away. I was looking at my power meter and it was definitely numbers that I know I can't sustain for terribly long.
So we got to the top of Whinlatter and we were about 5 minutes up on our schedule to go under 6 hours. Everything was going well, feeling good. But then a disaster struck. So we had a feed arranged where we could pick up some bottles and food halfway round, and it was a very hot day and we missed the feed. And after missing the feed, which was all of our water and fuel for the second half of the event, we started to worry, and I did actually think, I'm not sure we're going to be able to do this. If we bonk, this is game over.
It's a fairly major mistake, isn't it? Outside the tennis club in Lawton, you said?
Yeah.
Could we find the tennis club in Lawton?
No, we just rode past it.
We rode past it.
But we were saved. By Team 13. We sort of struggled on for another sort of 45 minutes.
At that part of the event, we start getting worried because my legs are hurting. And still got 100k to go.
Thank you. Cheers. Yeah.
And then we hit that corner, which was like a feed stop where we both stopped. And
I think I said to you, Ollie, I have got to stop. And you went, really? And I went, no, seriously, this is like life or death. And you went, all right then.
No, well, I'm glad you made me stop, because then they filled my bottles up really quick. They were so quick, they were on it. They were like, right, electrolyte in, like water in. We would stop for about a minute.
Yeah.
Like, it was really quick pit stop. They were like, what gels do you want? And just gave me some like gels and stuff in their pocket.
They kindly told me that I was setting off in the wrong direction as well.
We nearly set off in the wrong direction. But that feed stop is amazing, right? So it's run by one of the other local cycling clubs called Team 13. And they marshal this feed stop, and they've just made it their own. And that's all, again, like all volunteers, but it's like all the community of the Lake District cycling like coming together. It's really cool.
Big up Team 13, that was fantastic.
Saved us.
Well, they saved you.
I have become unshipped. The lights have gone out. I sort of had a feeling it was going to happen over Whinlatter. You know, you get those little twinges. I was like, it'll be all right, But no. So now, I'm in the unfortunate position of being in survival mode with 60k to go.
It was really grippy, wasn't it? That next bit, It's not the most picturesque part of the route either, is it?
Yeah.
It's big and
bleak.
exposed. It is bleak.
Cold fell.
It wasn't very cold that day. Views out over the sea and stuff. And anyway, your tempo was just...
120k in, heading up to Cold Fell. Oh, I'm feeling this now. Feeling it. I think Si is somewhere back there.
It was a strong tempo.
It was just, well, I'm just going to put it out there. I didn't attack. I just maintained the I maintained the same pace we'd done on all the climbs.
Yes. Yeah. Unfortunately, I was not able to maintain that pace, and I was just, that was it. I bid farewell. I don't think I actually said goodbye.
130k in. Si's been dropped. I think he's struggling. I'm just trying to push on to hard knot now. Oh, I'm feeling it.
Anyway, fortunately, there was another feed zone not long after that. And so I pulled into this feed zone and I made a beeline for the crisps. The death of ambition lies in the feed zone. I've cracked. I needed some crisps. Once you stop, you're surrounded by this warmth of kind of, support and stuff. It's quite hard to get going, if I'm totally honest. And then I was like, do you know what? I think I'm just gonna have to finish the last 2 hours now.
We are just under target for under 6 hours.
I mean, there were quite a few people who actually sort of rode with me for stretches and were amazing actually. Like people, I was like, I'd like tell people that I was trying to get under 6 hours, and I knew it was like close.
And so what pace did you go at hard knot in the end then?
Well, you hit this first ramp out of a cattle grid, and then it's sort of 25% there, and it's the first section. Then it levels off to sort of 9% and it feels flat.
Yeah.
And then as you're along that 9% section, you then have this looming bit in the distance, which is these hairpins where it hits 33% at its steepest. And it's brutal. It's really tough, right?
Yeah.
And so I actually went, probably on all the climbs we went up during the Fred, I went easiest on hard knot because I was scared.
Really?
Right, I've made it onto the bottom of hard knot now. So this is like the crux of the route. Got 4:50 riding time.
So at that point, I actually thought that there was still a chance of getting sub 6 as well, because I was like, well, hold on a sec, Ollie must be absolutely flying. Because I was looking at it and I had like 30k to go, and I think I had about an hour and 2 minutes to do it in. And I was like, my average speed up to that point told me that if I carried on, I'd be absolutely fine. But it's quite slow, that last bit, isn't it?
I don't think I've slowed down too much, but this is going to be where it really kicks in. It's bonkersly steep, this.
We rode past a group of guys at the bottom, like spectators, and I'd say they were cheering me on, but I rode past and they said, Ollie said you were creeping and he's already finished. I was like, oh God.
Bit of stinger this, isn't it? This is hard knot. Name. It's definitely hard. Gosh dang, 40 RPM with 300 watts. Oh, GCN, come on! Thanks, man.
And then fortunately, I ended up tagging on to a big group, or a group amassed on the descent of Bleat Arm, and I was able just to sit in the wheels.
I know I'm going to get to the finish now, that's fine. It's just, I can't quite work out the pacing. I think I've blown it.
I was at that point where I was like, I'm just riding at a pace that it was like I'd blown pace, so I just was cruising along.
Hopefully Ollie's got the sub 6 though. Salvage some GCM pride. Go on, Ollie.
I time trialled to the finish as fast as I could.
Yeah, I did look at your Strava, and your heart rate spikes at the end, doesn't it? You were clearly like properly pressing on at the end.
I got 8th on Strava for the last section.
Did you?
Yeah, like the last sort of 20k.
Fair play, mate.
But yeah, no, I was like surprised but really happy because there was a big group that set off ahead of us. I thought there was going to be about 30 people that were faster than us because they could all work together, and we mostly rode it sort of as a two-up, I guess. And yeah, I was the fourth fastest person. Happy with that.
Fair play, mate.
Yeah.
That's proper good. That is proper good. Oh my days. That was cool. I definitely haven't made sub-6. I'm probably not far off, but that was a day out and a half there. Hey, buddy. Well done, mate.
You're so salty, you're like Alex.
Oh, mate. I just absolutely cooked out there. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Did you? Good stuff,
Yeah.
mate. What time did you do?
I think 5:55 or 5:56, I'm not sure.
Oh, nice one, mate.
Yeah, so under, yeah.
Good stuff.
There are people that I saw the person took the longest time took 16 hours to do it, but completed it. Yeah, and there's people that take 12 hours, and I just think, yeah, hats off to those people. Like that is a phenomenal achievement because they're going as fast as they can, and it's, you know, it doesn't matter. Like if you're 12 hours plus on a bike, that is hard work. We'll put the official time on screen now, but what my Wahoo says is 5:55:39. So I've gone under 6 hours.
Well, how long did you stop at the feed zone for, mate?
I think it might be something like 5:56, but I've managed it. I've gone quicker than I've gone before.
Fair play, mate.
Thanks, man. How
Fair
about
play.
you?
I did 6:15 total, so 6:08 riding time, and then I spent a little bit of time in the feed zone eating crisps.
That is the saltiest I've ever seen any human ever. Like, there's no one else finishing that looks like this.
No, that was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean the views, the scenery here is amazing. What a day, what weather. And also, it's just an incredible event. You know, it's a community event. It raises so much money for charity, and the support out on the course. It's not like any sort of Gran Fondo or Sportive I've ever ridden. You know, the cheering and is all the way around amazing.
Yeah, and the amount of marshals on course.
Yeah,
all the way down those descents.
All volunteers.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, well, hats off, Fred Whitton. I think if you've not ridden this event, you need to add it to your bucket list. Wherever in the world you are, I don't think you'd regret coming here.
I think there's a lot of people who live in you know, other countries who don't know that England looks like this.
No. Well, if you watch Star Wars, you will do.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Right, give the video a big thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and make sure you subscribe as well for more videos like this one. Oh. Where's my pint?